Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have here two experts, two clowns who should be fired and maybe their licenses revoked and left and never be listened to before. Yes, we all make mistakes, but let me give you some examples. So these guys, let me go to the articles actually. These guys, there's two experts, they come and tell us something because they're experts. They have PhDs. They're fantastically educated. They come and they tell us that the Russians, after the successful Ukrainian attack on those two planes over the Sea of Azov, will be afraid to do it again. Why? Because of the Ukrainians are so good. So these two experts are featured in one article telling us that the Russians would probably not do it again. They will be scared shitless. Now, in any, how should I put it, in any business, in any position that you have, and place of employment, let me give you an example. Let's say you are an architect. Let's say you're a civil engineer, and let's say you design a bridge. You design a bridge based on your knowledge, and you give the bridge certain kind of warranties. It's going to be, I don't know, it's guaranteed for 100 years with all the specifications guarantees. Now, if that bridge falls in the first month, you will never be an engineer again. Your PE, professional engineering license, will be revoked. You will never find a job. You would be indicted, convicted, and in prison. Guarantee you that. The same thing with others. So with others, that let's say you're a medic, you're a doctor, medic. That's why I like to call them. So let's say you're a medic and you prescribe a medication to someone and that person dies because you prescribed the wrong medication. What happens to you? You get out. The same thing as with the professional engineer, with the architect, civil engineer, however you want to call it. So we have here two experts in political science. That's your job. That means you know what you're talking about. So when you make a claim, when you predict something, that means you know what you're talking about, especially if you're old. If you're young, let's say 30 or 34, something, well, maybe he didn't see enough. Maybe he read a lot, maybe not, but maybe he's not. But when you're about, I don't know, 60, 70, 40, not 40, 50, that justification is out the door, especially when you are really in positions of authority, which is you are a professor, you are an expert on the issue. When you have 50%, 50%, 1, 2, A or B. You don't have more than that. When you make a prediction, is either it happens or it doesn't happen. It's not in between. This guy missed, so that means they couldn't figure it out. But other people, like, they figured it out. How is that possible? Well, because those guys have ideologies and maybe they're not good. They're not good. So let me show you. We have this video from yesterday, the one on top, not from yesterday, from the January 15th. Ukraine shot down 2 Russian command and control planes. Yeah, indeed, the A-50 plus and whatever it was, I-22M. This is what they got. That's true, they said, over the Sea of Azov. And we have this article right here from Business Insider with the experts. Military defense. Russia will be scared to deploy its precious command planes, plural, after the embarrassing loss of 2 of them. Experts say. So these are the civil engineers. These are the medics. Okay? And they say, we'll be scared to do it again. They will not do it again, obviously. Remember, this is January 17th. That is 2 days ago. Today is the 19th. 2 days ago. And they feature this beautiful A-50, right? Yeah. So here it is. These experts. Now let's see. Let's get their names and let's get their, how do you call it? Accreditation. How do you call it? Expertise, maybe? Okay, so let's see here. But they tell us Russia, Ukraine said it damaged 2 airplanes. Okay, we got them. And now we have, according to Rajan Manon, or Ryan Manon, we have here, first, who's this? Synod Baker. Who's this? This. So she wrote the article. What do you think? Is a new correspondent, right? She's, let me see, is she an expert here? Probably. She also extensively covered US politics. She. All right, she did this article. Okay, she featured, the first one is what? The first one is what? Ryan Manon. Who is Ryan Manon? Ryan Manon is born in 1953. So that's what, 70? It's 71 years old, almost, right? He is a political scientist. Holy moly macaroni. Currently Dr. Manon. He's a doctor, PhD. The Emeritus Anne of chair in political science at the City College of New York. So he's a very good, he's an adjunct senior research scholar, international and public affairs, all at the School of International and Public Affairs, Columbia University, a senior research scholar at Arnold Schwarzenegger, Salzman Institute of War and Peace Studies. So this is a PhD guy. All right, let's see what he says. A Russian and Ukraine expert and a director of US-based defense priorities think tank, the aircraft appeared to get unusually close to the front line. He said that their fate will make Russia even more wary about how it uses the ones that remain. So, my God, the Russians are scared to use them, the expert said. And I'm quoting this doctor. It's going to certainly make them more jittery. He said they're going to be much more careful in how and where they use them, no question. This is the PhD. I got another garbage right here. Gustav, hey, we got Gustav, and we got a picture for Gustav. Gustav Gressel, a missile defense expert at the European Council on Foreign Relations, says Russia's thinking will be that once Ukraine shoots down such a high-value asset so far away from the front, you will not risk another one. You will not risk another one. Gustav, right here, European Council of Foreign Relations. This is the guy. All right. Areas of expertise: Eastern Europe, Russia, armed conflict and military affairs, defense policy, missile defense, missile proliferation. Holy moly macaroni. So he's a senior policy fellow with a wider European program, European Council on Foreign Relations Berlin office. His top is focused on He is a, my God. And wait, holds a PhD in strategic studies. Strategic studies. What do you know? What do I know? Shit. He has a PhD in strategic studies at the Faculty of Military Science at the National University of Public Service Budapest and a master's degree in political science from Salzburg University. Okay, that's good fucking enough. Let's go and fuck them up. Ukrinform. What's that? Russia deploys another A-50 plane over Sea of Azov to replace down one. British intel. The date is today, the 19th. So this garbage of this person, which is this, came up on the 17th? On the 7th freaking 10th. It came 2 days ago, and now they are already at it. The Russians are already at it. Why? Because they are not afraid. And not only that, they have so many probably A-50s that these guys don't have missiles to down them. That's how many they got. So, should those guys be fired? Yes. Should their licenses be revoked? Yes. PhDs turn yes. Why? Because they have ideologies. They have ideologies. All right, my friends? What would you do with those two guys? Remember, if I say something here that, dubious, these guys block my channel. Or if I say something they don't like, the same thing. Those PhDs with those positions say garbage. Garbage. What happens to them? I don't want to hear they made a mistake. I don't want to hear. It's like you invest money and you give a hedge funds manager or something. You give them, let's say $100,000. And he said, well, according to the market, you will earn about 6% if you're not in the US Congress to get 150% return. You're going to get, let's say, about 6% average market yield or something. And then after 3 days, you lose all the money. What would you do? Say, it's okay. You're a manager. Risks are, there are risks. After 2 days, yeah. So, you see, these guys come forward and these guys use their titles. They're, oh my God, foreign affairs, European, this guy is from institute. Oh my God, you can't even comprehend what achievements these guys have. These are weasels. These are people who made their life like that, saying the right thing to the right people, promoted, pushed forward, and they are fake, phony. That's why when I said many times, guys, with time, with knowledge, with information, with wisdom, with attention, being consistent in what you get, with memory, with pattern, you catch these mofos. You realize that the guys in charge of us are no better than us whatsoever. They are more weasel than us, but we catch them because reason, logic, intelligence beats weaselness or weaselship. That's why, don't trust me, trust these guys. How? The second day these guys are already over the Sea of Azov. Let me show you where that is. I'm so irritated with this garbage, but I'm glad I have the opportunity to show you, this is Ukraine over here, to show you who these guys are. This is the Sea of Azov. Here is where, and this is the Crimean Peninsula. Here is where they were hit, in this area. According to the Ukrainians, the Russians did not say anything about it. So they will be afraid to do it. And the British intelligence never lies, right? After Ukraine shot down a Russian A-50 radar long-range warning aircraft over the waters of Sea of Azov, Russia has deployed another such plane, this time farther away from the borders of Ukraine. OAV. Right? And it's the same thing. On January 17, the Russian Air Force appears to have begun operating another A-50. So on January 17th, but this time over the land with Russian territory in the Krasnodar region, further eastwards from Ukraine. This activity, is highly likely indicate of a reduced risk appetite for the airframers and the attempt to prevent remaining Nevertheless, it's still over there, Krasnodar. Is that Krasnodar right here? Why is Krasnodar? Right here is Krasnodar. So they are operating here. Krasnodar is right here, this area. So the same, they're not like, oh my God, they ran away. So yeah, we have these people making the news for us. Sined, or whatever her, Baker. We got Moran, all right, I'm sorry, Menon. And we got this lad right here, Gustav. Hey, Gusti. Anyway, my friends. Well, I have to come out for air. This is exposing these garbages. Look on your own if you want to read, a little bit more, calmly or slowly who these guys really are. Look at their titles. And this is because I make this about them. They're the experts featured by CNED, right? Experts. Let me see what this guy, maybe he's saying something else, Gusti. And he says here, the UK Ministry of Defense said on Wednesday that Russia will likely now be forced to reconsider limiting the operational areas of its aircraft. So these guys are, again, they have their own experts right here. The Ministry of Defense, idiots as well. They will limit their operations. In 2 days, the guys already showed up. Not in 2 days, wasn't that a day? On the 17th? Yeah, right here. So on the 17th, right, according to this, right, on the 15th, and then 2 days after that, they operated. In 2 days. In 2 days. And these idiots, Shined what? Was it in the 17th? Yeah, they didn't even wait. So 2 days after they did it, these guys already start flying them. Let's see what Gusti or the Brits are saying. Russia has only has a few of each plane. It was estimated to have 8 A-50s and 30 IL-22s before this latest attack. So if they have only 8 and they use them like that, that means they're not afraid, or they're imbeciles. Or we're going to have other experts telling us that the Russians are illogical and they're stupid. That's why we have been winning for the past 2 years. All right, my friends, here it is. These are the experts. Don't believe them. I rubbed shoulders with them in college, and that was my first interaction with American, and not only PhDs, doctors in philosophy, doctors in political science, in sociology, in psychology, in what else, my friends? And nah. Out of all those guys that I met, I would say 1.5 were good. 1.5 professor were at their game. Not what really they knew, their way of thinking. One, it was Arthur Meltzer. one of the 2 or 3 professors that I ever admired, and teachers. One of the 3, as I said. And that was Arthur Melzer. He's still there. Is political science, political philosophy, fantastic guy in any way. I mean, courageous, wise, knowledgeable, and with balls, man, with balls. So that's one. And the other one was a half one from college. He was about almost 60. His name was Kaplowitz. He was a Jewish communist professor. I can remember his first name, Kaplowitz, Professor Kaplowitz. He was a good one, but I was surprised when... So remember, you are a sociology professor, PhD, and you don't know that the Federal Reserve Bank is a private bank? I called him out during the class, and then I let him go, and then after class, I had a conversation, and he said, let's see. And he looked on the laptop, and obviously it was a private bank made out of 10 private banks. So not to know that at almost 70, PhD in sociology, a communist, who said, I wrote a lot of checks as donations. So now that was half, but he was intelligent, he was balanced, but there he had to really check, communist and Papilop. There was the 2, and the other one was one of my math teachers in the 5th grade until the 8th grade. His name was Velțan. That was in Romania. He was a fantastic mathematics, arithmetics, geometry professor, teachers, we call him professors. Very good, Velțan. Eugene Velțan, fantastic. So these are the 3. And I would also put maybe my great teacher, Rada, who was also very, very good. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.